So this year is going to be a very big year for Megadeth in a bunch of ways. Also because this is the 30th anniversary for Countdown to Extinction, uh, which at that point I think is still your highest charting record on Billboard. It hit number two. Do you remember what number one was?
For Countdown, it was Billy Ray Cyrus's
That's
Someday.
right. It was Billy
Yeah,
Ray Cyrus and Achy Breaky Heart, that whatever that
yeah,
song was
yeah.
on that album.
Given what the song's about, I think it was better that it was for that than, some of the other times when we've had records come out and they were high charting records and didn't quite make number one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Dystopia actually was the next highest. It hit number three. So who
No,
knows
that
about
got
this
to
next one?
number two also. That
Oh,
got
did
to
it?
number two also. Yeah, it did on the rock tracks. But Adele was number one, and we just couldn't shake her.
Now you can't. No one can beat Adele, really. The Symphony of Destruction video, it had to be edited because of the assassination scene. Was that disappointing at the time?
Those pussies. I don't get it, man. They've got videos of people in some of these other clips from these other bands, and they get away with so much shit. The demeaning and demoralizing of women. Um, the use of fake weapons, although they're not real, they certainly give the impression that they're real. We did a song called Motorcycle,
Mhm.
right? It was a long time ago, and Motorcycle came out, and I thought the video was really super cool, man. It had this really cool Japanese movie. I don't know if you remember when Mike Douglas did that movie, Black Rain.
I haven't seen that. No.
Okay, so do you know who Michael Douglas is?
Sure.
Okay, so he did this movie called Black Rain, and it had a real underground Yakuza kind of feeling, and there was kind of a tonality with the filming that made it really cool. So we filmed in this club that belonged to the Hells Angels. It was their original club up in LA where all of the significant members would go to, and it was Sonny Barger's place. Sonny is the head of the Hells Angels. So, and then we had this erotic dance crew is what they were called. They were not porno at all. So these girls came and they're dancing, and they've got their tops have a little cut here so you can see a little bit of cleavage. That's it, right?
Mhm.
They banned the video. They said it was too much suggestive footage of the women, and they said that it was pornographic, and that they would let me use the video, but that I had to chop the shit out of it. And that was right after they did the same thing with the Tout Le Monde video, because that was on the record before that. If you remember, we had that record come out and that was banned. And so began the beginning of the end with us and with MTV, with all of the banning and stuff. Now they just think it's a joke between us and MTV, and I'm sad because we used to be their darlings. They used to use my track "Peace Sells But Who's Buying" as their music clip for MTV News. I don't know if do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
And it would stop. It would stop right there. If it would have went, I would have got paid for that. You know that? They cut me off by one freaking fuck of a note.
Life is hard sometimes.
It is, man. Except when it isn't, and you wish that it was hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Sometimes it's true. So I think maybe if someone listened to Countdown to Extinction for the very first time, they may feel like, oh, Dave's perspective on humanity is quite cynical, or maybe realistic, depending on your perception. Would you say that you were in any way cynical at that time in your life?
I think so. I think that to a degree, I've been brought up with old 70s humor and, George Carlin,
Oh, yeah.
comedians from back in the day, Sam Kinison, Andrew Dice Clay, a lot of guys that were really, really crossing over the safety line a lot, These were guys that had no idea of coloring inside of the lines. And I would listen to their comedy and I would incorporate that a little bit into what I was saying on stage, which made me a very funny but volatile front man.